Hi everyone, it's Lindy on from Pink Whisper Designs. Today I've got a brand new product to show you from Art Impressions, and we're going to create these two little gift card holders. So let's go ahead and get started. This brand new set from Art Impression is called the Bunny Gift Card Set, and look how cute this is. And this can attach right to your Art Impressions envelope gift card holder, and that is a separate die which I will show you here in a second. And I just wanted to note that on the back, all of these little pieces, these little dies are labeled so you know exactly which pieces you're die cutting. Now let's take a look at that gift card holder. And that's the die to create the little pocket to hold the gift card. And this set is nice because it also comes with all of these other little pieces that you can use to create some cute little tags and little extra items. So again, this is the gift card holder, and you do need to purchase this separately, and that again is pictured on that packaging, but it is a separate product. And as always, all of the products I'm using today will be listed and linked down below the video and also on my blog. So now let's go ahead and create that little pocket. I'm folding in the two side tabs. I'll fold down this top piece, and then we'll fold this up from the bottom. And there's score lines on all of these pieces so you know exactly where to fold everything. And for those two little tabs on either side, we're going to add some nice strong double-sided tape. This is 1/4 inch tape, and you do want to use something strong here because you are going to be sliding that gift card in and out of this little pocket. Got my Cricut weeding tool. I'll just press down that backing with the flat end of the tool. And then I'll use that little pokey end to pull up that backing. So we can go ahead and fold this up. And that's how easy this part is. So this is really easy to do. Let's set that aside for now. So off camera, I die cut all of our little pieces to create our little bunny. And I cut those out of some 100-pound Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock so that we could color our own. But you can certainly use some pattern paper here and do some paper piecing, whatever you prefer. Now for the little ears, I wanted to show you that that little center of the ear can pop up on your ear, on your little bunny ear. But I decided to create a little frame for that, and all I did was line those two dies up on another piece of paper and die cut it, and that gives me the frame and the inside portion of the bunny ear as well. So we're going to insert that inside of the bunny ear into this frame. Now you certainly don't have to do that, and on the packaging you can see that it was just popped up as the center of the ear, but I thought it would be cute to insert that. So that's what we're going to do. And all of these other little pieces you can see create the little bow and the hands or the paws, the little nose and mouth, and then you have this little piece that die cuts the eyes. But I'm going to be using some wiggly eyes that are the exact same size as those dies. So I'm not going to be using that. And then I also wanted to show you this little egg that you can cut that the bunny can be holding. And you'll see that there on the package. That was die cut out of some pattern paper for the packaging. So you can see how cute this is when it comes together. Let's start off with the little bunny ears that I talked about before. So I die cut that little frame. Again, that was just lining up the two dies together at the same time and running those through to create this little frame. I'll lay that on the solid bunny ear. And you do want to just take a little time to line those up. I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to do my gluing because it's a nice strong adhesive and it'll hold everything together perfectly. Now I've got my Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide ink, and I've got a tiny blending tool from Holtz. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of that color around the edges just to kind of finish off those white edges, and then come up from the bottom of the bunny ear up a little bit just to create a little shadow. I'll also do the same thing. This little portion will be the face. I'm just coming in from the edges and leaving the middle part of the face the lightest. I'll add a little bit of a darker look right at the top where that little bow is going to be, just to create a little shadow underneath that ribbon. And then for the paws, I'm just going to add ink to one side. Just one side will have that little shadowing of that hickory smoke. Now once that was all set, I grabbed the Spun Sugar Distress Oxide ink and I'm going to do the nose in this color. Now here again, you could certainly use some pink cardstock and just die cut it right out of that. Then you wouldn't have to do any of the coloring, and you could do the same thing for the inside of the ears. Again, I'm going to start off with that Spun Sugar on the ears, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the Kitsch Flamingo down along the bottom portion of the ear, and just for, again, a little bit of shadowing, and then we'll kind of just blend that up towards the top, keeping the top of those ears the lightest. I'm just kind of patting that on, and then I'm going to blend that together. And I'm just cleaning off that sponge foam tip a little bit so that I get some nice blending. Now we can go ahead and insert those in those little ear frames that we created. So I'm just going to apply some glue down in there on both of these, and then we'll pop those right inside. We're going to be adding a little bit of detail to these later on using a pen. We'll add some stitching, but for now I'm going to set those aside to dry. And you can see that up close. And there again, I'm just showing you that the other way to do it is not to create that frame and just pop up that center portion of the ear. So that's up to you, whichever way you like the best. I've got some Lawn Fawn cardstock. This is a sparkle cardstock, and this is from the spring collection. And I'm going to just die cut my little ribbon and bow out of this really pretty purple paper. Now I did want to add a little bit of shadowing to this ribbon and bow, but first let's go ahead and glue these together. So I had already die cut this out of the white cardstock, and this is just to give it a little bit more dimension. I just wanted this bow to pop up off the card a little bit better, or off the little bunny a little bit better. So I'm going to add some glue to each of these little white pieces, and then we will pop up that bow on the ribbon. Let's do this last little piece, and now we can go ahead and assemble this. And let's put the center of the bow on there. And I thought this could go either way, so whatever you prefer. We'll pop that on, and then let's grab some of the Villainous potion and give this a little bit of a shadow as well. So I'm really just patting that on. I do want to say that you want to be careful when you're applying this ink to glitter paper, because the glitter paper is a little bit scratchy and you don't want to tear up that foam applicator. So I'm really just kind of patting that color on. You could certainly use a small blending brush here if you prefer. But if you just pat it on, I found that it worked just fine. And I'm basically just taking away that white edge. Now off camera, I attached the ears to that square piece that is part of the face. I attached that ribbon across the top. Now I've popped up these little paws, and I'm going to put those with the shadow side down. And then we're also going to pop up this little bow, and we're going to center that. You could do it off to the left or to the center or to the right, whatever you prefer. So kind of play around with that. And then again, I'm just going to pop that up for a little bit more dimension. Now let's add that little nose and mouth. And then we have that additional piece that we can add to the nose. And I'm going to pop that up as well. So what I'll do is I'll just cut a little piece of those foam squares and add it to the back of the nose. And the reason I have that packaging out is so that you can follow along, so you know exactly where to put that little nose and mouth, and then also where to put the little whiskers. So let's end the eyes. And I've got these little wiggly eyes, and these are just so cute. I will list the size that I use because it's the exact same size as the die. I thought these were perfect, and again just added so much interest. And there I'm grabbing that packaging again to add some little interest to the paws, and then also to add those whiskers. So I'm just following along with the packaging. And I'm using a Faber-Castell 0.1 millimeter black permanent pen to do this. Now I've got some lacquer. This is a lacquer pen from Hero Arts, and this is the pink. And I did squeeze it onto some scrap paper first. You want to make sure you get any bubbles out of it onto your scrap paper. Then once it was flowing nicely, I added that to the nose. And that does take a little bit of time to dry, so you want to be careful. So now I'm going to add a little heart in the paws. Now again, as I showed you, this does come with a little egg that you can use, but I'm going to take the nested heart dies and grab that little heart. And then for the paper, I'm using the Sparkle Cardstock from Fawn in the Autumn collection, and it's this really pretty purple color. So again, I'm going to pop that up just so it lines up nicely with the little paws, and just place that down. Now, this would be a great place to put a sentiment, a happy birthday sentiment, or an Easter sentiment. So anything you want to put in his paws would be great. Even a little flower would be cute. So now I'm going back to that Hickory Smoke ink, and I'm just checking to see where I need to apply the ink because I want this to look like the back part of the bunny. So I'm going to add some of that ink all the way around the edges, and then I'll flip it over and add some on the back. We're going to be adding a little bunny tail back here, so I want it to look a little bit shadowed. Once that's all set, we can apply some little pom-poms. I found these little pom-poms that had like a little sparkle to them, and we're going to use 3 of them because they are kind of small. So I'm just going to cluster them together using that same Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and then I'm just going to hold that with something heavy for a little while and let those dry. Now I've got my Pink Fresh Studio 1/4 inch round brush going back to that spun sugar, and I'm going to add a little bit of pink for the cheeks. You could certainly use a Q-tip here if you want. I'm just using this small little brush because it was the perfect size for the cheeks. Now going back to that Pitt Artist pen, I'm going to add some little stitch marks all the way around these ears on the pink section of the ear, and then I'll just add a couple little hash marks on either side. And I thought that just finished off the ears a little bit nicer. Now I've added some foam tape to the back. We're going to pop this up onto our gift card holder, and you will realize that I went a little too far with the tape. So once I placed this down, I realized my tape was a little too high. On the next one that we're going to be creating, I took that into consideration, and I will show you that. So all I did, I just flipped this over and I removed that excess tape. I just grabbed it and cut it down to size. So let's go ahead and do this second one. I wanted to do a little white bunny and a little brown bunny. And so again, we're going to fold up that gift card holder pocket. We'll place some tape on either of those 2 tabs. And I did speed this one up quite a bit just because I just wanted to show you what I had done. I'm going to remove that backing from that 1/4 inch tape, and then we'll close this up. I'm pressing that out again with the bone folder. And then we've got the same ears. Now, when I cut that frame out, I get that center just like we did before. But I wanted the center to be white, and I wanted the little nose to be white. So I went back and die cut the inside of the ear out of white so that I could color it with the spun sugar ink just like we did before. But first, let's go ahead and attach these little frames. Again, just lining those up nicely. And then I'll just put an acrylic block on those and let those dry. Now I'm using the Gathered Twigs Distress Oxide to add some shadowing. So I'm going to add it all the way around the edges again, and then up from the bottom of the ear, a little bit darker at the bottom of the ear, just for a little bit of shadowing. And then let's do the face portion just like we did before. We'll add that ink all the way around the edges and a little bit more at the top where that ribbon is going to be for a little shadow. We'll do the paws, just one side of each of the paws. And then I've got that spun sugar for the nose and mouth and for that little add-on piece of the nose, and also for the ears. We'll go ahead and add some Kitsch Flamingo to that. And again, I'm just kind of patting it on down towards the bottom, cleaning off my applicator, and then blending that out. Let's go ahead and add these to the inside of that frame. And then again, we'll just set these aside to dry. Now I'm going back to that spring sparkle cardstock from Fawn, and this time I grabbed this kind of blue color, and then for the little heart this time we're going to use that same paper pack and we'll grab a really pretty green. So I'm gluing these to the craft cardstock pieces that we die cut earlier, and now we can go ahead and assemble this. But first, let's add that shadowing. On the first one, I added the shadowing after I put it all together, but I thought it was probably better to do this before I do my assembly, because then I can really get in along these edges a little bit better. Again, I'm really just patting it on. I'm not trying to scrape up along the edge of that glitter paper because it is a little bit sharp. So let's add that center to the bow. And then with those same foam dots, those are from scrapbook.com, and those are the small foam dots. I'm going to pop this up. So let's add that to the face. And then let's go ahead and add our little bunny ears. Again, I'm going to pop up the little paws so that the bunny can be holding that little heart. I've got the nose and mouth, and I'm going to pop up the nose just like we did before, so I'll just cut a little tiny piece of that foam tape again and put that right on the back. Let's grab some of those wiggly eyes and we can glue these down. And then I'm going back to that Pitt Artist pen. I added some detail to those little paws, and we'll add the whiskers and some little stitching. And then with the spun sugar, we'll add some pink to the cheeks. And I'm going back to that Hero Arts lacquer pen and adding that pink to the nose. Going back to the Gathered Twigs, let's go all the way around this gift card holder just like we did before. Again, just to give it a little shadowing, and then we'll add the 3 little pom-poms to the tail. And then we can set those aside to dry. And let's die cut that heart just like we did before from that green sparkle paper from that same Lawn Fawn collection. And now this time I'm just checking to see how far up I need that foam tape. So I'm not going to go quite as far up as I did before. And again, this will pop this up nicely, giving us some dimension. So let's take a closer look at our finished gift card holders. And again, these would be so cute for a little birthday party, Easter, whatever you like. These are just so fun. And there's the little gift card inside that pocket, but you could certainly slide anything you like in these pockets. A little note card, some stickers, whatever you prefer. So these were really fun to do. I hope you enjoyed this new product from Art Impressions. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.